it's Halloween, and I woke up with a terrible headache this morning. And it was not because I have to do a ISSA certification evaluation, because I enjoy doing these. And it's not every day of the week that I get to look at some of the sharpening someone's done and say, hey, that looks really good, or let's try it again. So I have a new one today to look at, and I give them a written test. And this is a shear sharpening certification. It's international. People from all over the world, I'll damage shears, send it to them, tell them to sharpen it, a convex and a beveled edge. And I don't necessarily know who trained them, what equipment they have, I just know what the results are. And they do get a written test, which I don't ever fail anybody for missing anything on the written test, but the written test will tell me sometimes why, if the sharpening is not up to snuff, why, where their errors might be. So I'm looking through here, and I'm going to skim through this quick. I've got several other videos you can find where I go through all these questions. Watch all the way to the end of this video, because you've got to see this letter from the sharpener. It'll blow your mind. It just did me. So he has them all right except for the last one. If the convex edge shears don't cut the tissue cleanly, which would not likely to be the reason. I probably need to reword this one too. A, the edge is rounded off and not sharp. The burr is left. Nicks are left. Blades are out of alignment. Would not likely be the reason. If the edge is rounded off and it's not sharp, it can still cut the wet tissue. The wet tissue does not tell you how sharp the edge is. The wet tissue tells you if there's any roughness, like nicks or burrs or anything like that left behind. I can take some pretty dull shears or scissors and cut tissue and cut it cleanly. It's a good test, but it's not the complete test. All right, so let's look at the shears. Happy Halloween, by the way. I'm sure you're watching this after Halloween. In our office here in the past, we've dressed up for Halloween. Misty today, here's what she looks like. My favorite, and we've had other, over the years, different outfits that we've worn, even when Misty was pregnant. My favorite was when my son-in-law, Jay, who's our local sharpener, decided to dress up like me. And this is his picture. He was the shear diva. I'm sure he'll love me sharing that picture. When he calls me on the phone, that's the picture that pops up. So let's take a look at these. This person has a number. I don't give out the names. He's 314379. Let's take a look at his shears. So we have a convex edge and a beveled edge. This convex edge shear actually comes to you as a semi-convex. The beveled edge, what I'm looking for here is if you know not to try to work the right line, if you know just to bevel it, get it to cut, and that's good enough. And also it has a serration on it. And I want to preferably leave the serration, although I won't fail you if you take the serration off, but he left the serration on here. Looking to see if they do look truly convex. And that does. Nice and shiny. He's done a good job of making them look pretty. This is what I mean by convex and bevel. A lot of people get really confused. Had someone I was training last week who didn't watch my videos before he came for training, but this has a flat edge. You see how the light hits it, and you can see like the line right there at the edge, and where the convex disappears to nothing. So these look like what they're supposed to. Let's see how they cut. So I have some tissue. This is not my favorite tissue. Let me find some better. This has a little texture to it. I'm having harder and harder time finding tissue. I found some great toilet tissue at my friend Jeremiah Salmon's house. I stayed at his house and he had the thinnest, cheapest toilet tissue I've ever seen. He's got a huge house, bathrooms all over the house. And I commented about how his toilet tissue was so cheap. And he says, well, I wouldn't know. I use a bidet. So there's the tissue I like to use. We're going to try it dry. It's kind of tricky to do, especially with arthritis, but I'm pulling my thumb out and I'm cutting dry, and it cuts perfectly dry. Thumb out, cuts nice. Water bottle. I like these misting water bottles. They work really good for this. So wet. Cuts good. Felt a little pull at the tip, but not enough that I would even notice it. And that cuts wet. Those cut perfectly. So if they cut hair, this person passes. Let's grab a mannequin over here. If you're looking for mannequins to test hair on or to test clipper blades, if you go to some of the cosmetology schools, sometimes when they've done all the cutting on them when they've done all the cutting that they're able to do, they have these mannequins which kind of short hair, but they'll work for us. So I'm looking to see if this will cut the hair without pushing or folding. Nice crisp cut. Looks good. Bevel edge passes. Let's try this convex edge. Ooh. Cuts really nice. So I'm looking at the ride line and the shears. And this is some of the best sharpening I've seen. So this was not a Halloween surprise. I really can't find anything to criticize these. So congratulations. So here's the letter I promised to read you at the end. It was stuck in the envelope. And he says, Bonnie, I'm new to the shear sharpening game. I've taken an online class and received professional instruction for 1 day this past August. I bought a flat hone 6 weeks ago and have been practicing. This is the machine I use for the test shears. Your videos have been a wealth of knowledge, and I really do appreciate what you can do. So congratulations, Jared. And he's a new sharpener. Shows you can do this even if you just start out. So many people think they've got to practice before they go out sharpening, but if you've got a flat hone machine, you've got the right training, right equipment, and you've got some courage, get out there and do it. So congratulations, Jared. So what's your thoughts about the International Scissor Sharpeners Association? Is this ISSA certification? Is it a walk in the park, or is it a little more difficult? Let's see what you can do. If you want to be certified, if you want to join the ISSA, it's for those that are certified. It's more than just a piece of paper. It's more than just an ID card. So links below is going to tell you how to be a part of the ISSA and also to get your swag, your merchandise. If you're ready to take your sharpening skills to the next level, I've got you covered. Whether it's a certification or upgrading your equipment or getting some more sharpening training. That's what we're about. So call the red-headed sharpening lady, Bonnie at Bonika Shears. And remember, stay sharp, my friends.